Welcome to NYNJPA Weather, your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Well, here we are on another Monday, and it looks like we're looking at another active weather pattern for this coming week. This is the surface map as of 10 a.m., and as you can see, we have a cold front that is stalled over central and southern New Jersey and moving back towards southeastern Pennsylvania. This cold front will remain stalled over the northern mid-Atlantic through at least Wednesday morning, and we have a series of low pressures currently developing over the plains and the Mississippi River Valley that will track to the northeast along this front. And we have another area of low pressure that is developing over the Rockies that's going to dive south into the southern plains and then rocket northward towards the St. Lawrence River Valley by the middle of this week. That's going to shift this cold front to the north as a warm front and bring an end to all of the active weather that we've been seeing over the past several days. So let's take a look at this forecast. This is our latest water vapor satellite picture, and I think it really details exactly what type of pattern we're in. Our storm from Saturday that produced very heavy rainfall, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, and wind gusts over 40 miles per hour, is still meandering around central and southern Quebec and will remain doing so for at least another 2 days. Meanwhile, we have a series of disturbances coming in from the Pacific Ocean that are basically moving across the Rockies, through the plains, and towards the northern Mid-Atlantic. Now, these disturbances are going to act on the boundary that is currently sitting over the northern Mid-Atlantic and produce periods of scattered showers and variable cloud cover. I'm not looking at a complete washout for the start of this week, but clearly we're going to be dealing with these passing disturbances that will produce scattered showers here and there every so often. So we're going to have to keep on our toes. The good news is that with the boundary sitting right over the northern Mid-Atlantic, the threat for severe weather is going to be focused more towards the south and the southwest, towards the plains and the southeast. Unfortunately, those areas have had a rough time of it so far, and it looks like that's going to continue through the middle of this week. So when we look at the forecast for Tuesday afternoon, this is the GFS surface model guidance from the Penn State EWOL. And what we can clearly see here is that we have our stationary front continuing to sit over much of the northern Mid-Atlantic for tomorrow afternoon. Now we have a high pressure system sitting over the St. Lawrence River Valley again. And what that means is that we're going to be dealing with a northeasterly wind setting up throughout the entire northern Mid-Atlantic for tonight through tomorrow, and that's going to mean a marine environment is going to build into the region once again. Now to the south of this front, temperatures won't be all that bad, lower to mid 60s. Yes, there'll be some cloud cover, but I think the majority of the rain will remain to the north of this stationary front. So if you're in the Philadelphia metro, southern New Jersey, let's say you're going to Atlantic City, won't be that bad of a week. Yes, there'll be a threat for a shower here and there, but for the most part you'll remain dry. However, to the north of this front, slightly different story. These disturbances are going to be moving across, and when they're trying to drive this warmer air over this marine boundary, well, unfortunately, that's going to lead to overcast skies and scattered showers. Again, not a complete washout, but pretty much a nuisance for the start of this week. Temperatures will be holding in the upper 50s to mid 60s for highs for today and for tomorrow, and lows will generally remain around the 40s to lower 50s. So we're looking at a small diurnal range and temperatures remaining below normal but still not horrible. Our next main low pressure system that could produce major severe weather for the region, especially much of the southeast, it will be developing over the southern plains on Tuesday afternoon. Now by Wednesday, our surface low is rocketing into the St. Lawrence River Valley and the eastern Great Lakes. Now notice our warm front. Our warm front's going to be battling that high pressure system that's going to slowly exit into the Canadian Maritimes. And that basically means that to the south and west of this warm front, temperatures are going to warm up rather nicely on Wednesday afternoon. I would not be surprised if a few locations hit 75 degrees. And that could mean trouble for Tuesday evening as that cold front approaches and the atmosphere is a bit more unstable. With that being the case, yes, there is a threat for strong thunderstorms and an isolated threat for severe thunderstorms on Wednesday evening. However, this is not a certainty at all, depending on the timing of this cold front. If this cold front moves through, let's say at 1 a.m., which is a possibility, then the threat for severe weather is significantly lower. So I think for the most part, what we're looking at with these thunderstorms is the potential for strong wind gusts over 50 miles per hour, heavy rain, and of course lightning. Of course, the problem with this type of pattern is that the region's already running about 25 to over 75% above normal, especially for northeastern New Jersey, where we're continuing to see areas of flash flooding with the rivers in that area. Now, with this additional rainfall, things are not going to get any better, and it looks like this active pattern is going to continue. So, if you live by a river basin, I would strongly suggest preparing, if you haven't already, for periods of flash flooding with each time one of these disturbances or one of these cold fronts move through, because the water table is pretty much taxed at this point. By Thursday, though, high pressure is going to be building in. Now, there might be a few isolated showers in the morning with a weak trough that's going to be moving through, but otherwise, high pressure is going to be taking hold with clearing skies and temperatures. Yes, there will be slightly below normal in the upper 50s to lower 60s, but the air mass will be drying out. It'll be a rather refreshing air mass, and really one of the better days of the week for Thursday afternoon. So we're definitely looking at improving weather conditions for the end of this week. And then by Friday evening, our high pressure system is starting to exit. And because this high pressure system is exiting and we have another warm front on the way, well, that's going to mean increasing clouds throughout the day on Friday. I think I'm going to hold off any precipitation until Saturday morning with this warm front because this high pressure system is going to keep that warm front at bay. Notice how the warm front dips to the south over the southern Appalachians, especially around North Carolina and towards Georgia. That's what you call cold air damming. Okay, so cool air damming. It's not exactly cold, but you get the point. Cooler air is trying to wedge up against the Appalachians and it slows this warm front down. So I think most of the day on Friday we'll end up with dry conditions but increasing clouds and temperatures still remaining below normal in the upper 50s to lower 60s. In case you're wondering, by this time of year we should be in the mid to upper 60s for highs. Meanwhile, our area low pressure, well, it's going to bring another threat for severe weather for the southern plains to the southeast coast. And we're going to have to watch to see exactly how fast this cold front moves through, because when we look at Saturday, you can see our warm fronts well to the north by Saturday afternoon, which means we warm up significantly. Would not be surprised if we're pushing into the 70s for highs. For now, I have us in the 60s because I'm not convinced just yet how fast this warm front's going to move through and how fast the clouds clear out. But the faster the clouds clear out, the more sunlight breaks out, the more unstable the atmosphere gets. And then we're going to have to watch exactly to see what develops along this cold front on Saturday evening for the threat for strong to severe thunderstorms once again, or at least another round of heavy rainfall. Thank you for trusting in NYNJPA Weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent day.